So we want to tell you about this big project that we did called the template pipeline. So first, I'm going to give you some background on why Angular compiles templates as opposed to just interpreting them at runtime. Then I'm going to motivate why did we build template pipeline specifically, what does it do, why is it useful. Then we'll dig into some of the design details of how this thing works. We'll have a look at some of the details of compilation, although there's too much to cover in one presentation. And then at the end, we'll look at some takeaways that we learned from doing this project. So first, let's start with why the heck do we compile templates at all? So when you write an Angular template, it gets ahead of time compiled or really transpiled to something we call an IV view function. So IV was the code name at the time for a big rewrite of both the compiler and the framework runtime. And IV has this notion of a view function. And a view function is responsible for creating and updating the DOM for a specific fragment of a template. And we call these fragments of templates views, and they are more granular than entire templates. So say imagine that you have a component, and inside that component, you have an ng template, or maybe you have an ng if, anything that implicitly creates a nested ng template. That would be a view. So that's sort of an isolated fragment of the template that we produce a transpiled view function to create an update. So you could write one very large component with a ton of ngifs, and it can result in dozens or even hundreds of IV view functions. And each one of these is basically atomic. They don't depend on other view functions. They can refer to other view functions by selector, but they don't actually have to import them.